Okay, so hi, good morning all. Let's get started now. Okay, yeah. So in the last week, so we have discussed many of the PRPC concepts and created a web page, right? So first we will discuss about we will revise the concepts. Okay. So then we will go for next concept. Okay. So we discussed all these concepts, right? So what is the concrete class? Okay. So concrete class can be instantiated. Okay. So abstract class cannot be instantiated. Okay. This is the main difference between concrete class and abstract class. Okay. So pattern inheritance is based on the name. Okay. So it inherits the characteristics from the other classes. Okay. Generally other classes would be the prefix of the class. Okay. So directed inheritance inherit the characteristics from the explicitly defined class. Okay. So we define explicitly. So what is an access group? So access group defines an application which user is going to access, which operator is accessing. Okay. See, all these things we created manually, right? So we created access group and we defined the application in that access group and created an operator and assigned that access group to that operator. Okay. So whenever operator is going to log in into the PRPC application, internally it will verify the access group. Okay. So in the access group we'll have portals also. Okay. So if operator is having administrator access group and is having the developer portal, then you'll be able to log in into the so developer portal. Okay. If you define manager portal, then you will see the manager portal. Similarly, user portal also. So we have seen all these things, right? Yeah. So what is a class in PRPC? So class defines the scope or applicability of the rule, okay, which doesn't contain the rules, rather it determines how the rules are stored in the rule sets. Okay. So that means we have different classes, right? So we have class at organization level, at division level, unit level. Okay. So if we define the class under organization level, it will have more scope. Okay. That will be applicable for all the classes. So if you define a rule under implementation class, that rule will be applicable to only that particular class and the child classes also. Okay. So based on the rule you define under the class, the scope will be different. Okay. So and all the rules will be stored in the rule sets. Okay. So rule set manages identify the rules. Okay. And the primary purpose of rule set is for deployment and security. Okay. So we already discussed about all these topics. Okay. So now let me log in into the application. So here, so as part of our application, so we have created many rules, right? So what are the rules we created so far? So we created property, section, flow action, right? Yeah. So here you see property first name is a class of which class? See, all the rules we define under work class, right? So we should not say the property is, sorry, first name is property of HSBC iPhone HSBC vehicle work. Okay, we should not say like that. Okay, so property is an instance of the class rule obj property. Okay, so this property first name is applies to HSBC iPhone HSBC vehicle work. Okay, this is applies to class. That means this properties under this work class. Okay, all the properties are instances of rule obj property. That you need to remember. It's very important. See, let's open first name. See, the class. This is applies to class. Suppose I am going to create a new property. So go to the actions, create. See, apply to. So this properties belongs to this class and it will be stored in this rule set. Okay. So property is not of a, is not class of work class. Okay. It is belongs to, it is applies to this class. But all the properties are instances of rule obj property. Section is an instance of rule HTML section. Flow action is an instance of rule obj flow action. Like that. Okay. So far you clear or any doubts? Online guys. Okay. So if you don't understand, you can stop me at any point of time and you can ask. Okay. So and as part of web page, so we have created properties and we dragged all those properties onto the layout of the section. Then we created the flow action and invoked the section into the flow action. Then yeah, we created the flow and we invoked the flow action into the flow. Again, this is common process. Okay, if you are going to create any flow, these steps will be common. Okay, you need to remember. Okay. Okay, this is our class group name, right? This is work class. Okay. So we are going to, so we just mentioned the vehicle insurance application, right? But so we are going to design loan application. Okay. So this is the work class. So if we create a class by referring to this class, that class will be a child class of this one, right? So and that type is a belongs to class group. So this is a class group which generate the instances. Okay. So now, so we are going to work on loan application, right? I am going to create just PC work auto loan. Okay. So this class is a child class of this work class, right? So now this is called a work type. This auto loan is a one work type. Okay. So similarly, I am going to create one more class called home loan. Just simply put home. Okay. So under the home loan, so we'll have different loans, right? Like mortgage, home equity loan, like that. Okay. So under home, so we have two different types of loans. So one is mortgage and home equity loan. Okay, so mortgage loan is something, so you take so borrower take the loan from the bank, so based on the property or real estate. Okay, so this is called mortgage loan. So home equity loan, so you will put your home as a collateral and you take the loan from the bank. Okay, so this you can google it also for more information. Okay, so this mortgage loan and home equity loan comes under home. Okay, so now I am going to create these two work types by referring to this class. Okay, these two classes belongs to child class of this class. Okay, so now it would be HSBC HSBC vehicle work o dash mortgage loan. Similarly, dash equity loan. Okay, so now mortgage loan and equity loan are the child classes of home class. Okay, so if we put something under home class, okay, this can be reused by mortgage loan and equity loan. Okay, you will put common things here. Okay, suppose, so if we put something here, this can be used by mortgage loan and equity loan. No, right? Okay, so these are not child class of this one. Suppose if we put something under work class, those can be used across all the work type. Okay, this can be used, this. Okay, if we put something here, only mortgage loan and equity loan can be used. Okay, so if we put something here, this can be used to only this class, not for other classes. Okay, but clear? So you draw this diagram. Okay, these are the classes we will be creating manually. Okay, so one is auto loan, home loan. Okay, so under home loan we have mortgage and equity. Okay, okay, these two are child class of this one. Okay, what is the relationship between auto loan and home loan classes? It is the sibling relationship. Okay, so if you have something under here that cannot be used by home loan. Okay, so if you put something common things under home loan, this can be used by mortgage and home equity. If you put something under mortgage, this cannot be used by home equity. Okay, if you put something here, that cannot be used by mortgage. Okay, so now, so we have this class group, right? Now we are going to create a class by referring to this. So what is the first class? Auto loan. Okay, so you note down these classes. Okay, this is the main class group and remaining are belongs to class group. So Akila, are you getting?
Can you repeat once again, please?
Who is this?
Vijit.
Yeah, Vijay. See, this is the work class, right? This is the class group. Okay, so this is mandatory for business. Okay, so we are going to create different work types by referring to this class group. So auto loan is one work type. Uh, so home loan is one work type. Mortgage is another work type. Similarly, home equity. Okay. So when you run, so when you are going to apply mortgage loan, you will have some request, right? Okay. So if you are going to apply auto loan, you will have different things. Okay. Yeah. Suppose it is like generating the work objects. So work types are going to generate the work objects. Okay.
Uh,
So you will
Got
have.
a question here.
Okay.
Because many of the fields can be common, can't we use both fields in home loan and auto loan at the time? Because both are different work classes, can we use or can we not use?
Sorry. Uh, See,
For
these are
example, for
belongs to one,
property.
right? So we can define how we want. See, we can define this separately also. Okay. So we can
Okay.
create one mortgage separately and home equity separately also. But this comes under home loan, right? These are part of home
Yes,
loans.
yes.
Okay. So common things we put under here instead of creating multiple times, and we can reuse it to these classes. No,
That is
sorry.
okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So no, I don't want to reuse the things. Then I can create these things individually. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See, now I'm going to create a class called auto loan. Okay, by referring to this. Okay. So right click on this, create sysadmin class. Okay. What is the class? This is the class number, right? Auto loan. So label is auto loan class. Okay. So note down the navigations. So if you feel I am going fast, then you can stop me. Okay. Create and open. So obviously this is concrete class. So now you tell me this class is a class group or belongs to class group? Belongs to class group. Okay. So if you specify this class is belongs to a class group, we need to specify the class group here. Okay, this is the class group, right? Yeah. Now, so here you see the pattern. So always is enabled, right? So the directed inheritance also here work class. Okay. So you can remove this one and you can mention work dash cover dash. Okay. So even if you put that one, nothing will happen. But so first it will. So anyhow, the find by name first pattern is enabled, right? Okay. So this class can inherit the characteristics from this parent class, and also then if it doesn't find there, then it will go for directed inheritance. Okay. So you specify work dash cover dash as a directed inheritance for all the classes. Okay. Click on save. See here we need to give the so class work dash cover dash. Okay. Yeah, we need to give the dash. Okay. So and this description is mandatory. Description and usage. Okay. Now click on save. Okay. So this is saved. So now if you refresh this class group, you will see the class created under this. Okay, auto loan. Okay. Similarly, I am going to create. Yeah, this is work type. This auto loan is one work type. Okay. So if you want to apply auto loan, I will go here. If I want to apply this mortgage, I will go for mortgage. Similarly, low home equity. Okay. So by default, when you create a flow, when you run the flow, a work object ID will be generated, right? That is seed as something. So that is the default. Okay. So for auto loan, we will put the prefix as A or AL auto loan dash one. So when you create, so when you apply mortgage, it should be ML like mortgage loan something. Okay. So based on that work object ID also, you can say that this is belongs to this, yeah, this work type. Okay. Now similarly, I am going to create one more class called home. Yeah. Save as. Okay. Otherwise, see, we can create a class from here. Actions create. You can save as and edit the names. Otherwise, you can go to the class group and create. Okay. You can create a rule in different ways. Just I'm going to put home. Okay. This is home loan class. Create and open. Okay. So this is also a concrete class. Belongs to a class group and mention the class group. Okay. Specify work dash cover dash as directed inheritance. Click on, go to the history. Yeah. Okay. So similarly, I'm going to create a class called mortgage. Okay. And we need to create a class under this, right? Create sysadmin class. Okay. The class name is work dash home dash, yeah, mortgage loan. So it should be of home hyphen mortgage loan, home dash mortgage loan. So if we create so a class like after work, if you put mortgage loan after work, it will be it, yeah. So it will be child class of that work class. Okay. So but we are creating under home loan, right? Okay. We need to specify like this. Okay. Create and open. Concrete. Change it to belongs to a class group and directed inheritance worked as covered as. Yeah, we need to change, right? Otherwise it will not allow to save. Okay. So when we say belongs to class group, we need to specify the class group, right? Yeah. Click on save. Now I am going to create one more class called home equity loan. Okay. So it is also a under home loan. Okay. Sorry, belongs to class group. Okay. So now you refresh the class group, you will see all the work types we defined. Okay. So if you are going to create something which belongs to auto loan, you will create under auto loan. Okay. Okay. If you are going to common things for home equity loan and mortgage loan, you will put under home. Okay. And so if you are going to put a common thing for all the loans, then yeah. So we need to create under work class. If you create something under work class, that can be used by all the loans. Okay. If you put something here under auto loan, that cannot be used by home loan. And similarly these also. Okay. So this is our structure. Okay. So going forward, we are going to create the things from these classes based on the requirement. Okay. So throughout the course, so we'll be working on these loans, and and all the rules will be covered as part of this. Okay. So clear so far? It's very important. This is the main thing. Okay. Will you be able to create the classes like this? Yeah. Any doubts so far?
So what is the major difference between work class and work group and class?
Work class and class group both are same. Similarly, see these are also these work types. Okay. So work class is a class group. Okay. So if you are going to create a class that belongs to class group are called work types. Okay. So what is one more?
Class group.
Yeah. So class group and work class same. So class group is a collection of classes, and it is a first concrete class of application. Okay. So class group is a mandatory. Okay. So see, told you already, right? So each concrete class will have a table connected. Okay. So now how many concrete classes we have here? This is one concrete class. Auto loan is one concrete class. Home loan is one concrete class. Mortgage and equity are another concrete classes. But here, so for all these concrete classes, we'll have a same table. Okay, I already told that. So more than one concrete class can be connected to a same table. Okay, so whatever the work objects you generate, all those things will be created under the same table called PC underscore HSBC underscore HSBC vehicle underscore work. Okay, see, so right click on the auto loan class, click on test connection, you will see the table. So what is that table? PC underscore HSBC, right? Okay. If you go to the class group and if you go to another concrete class also, you will have the same table. Okay. So that is the reason. So when we are going to create the work object, okay. So you will create. So you will define the prefix of the work. Okay. So by default it will be C hyphen something. Okay. If you create the
Can you
sorry.
show the navigation for that the table again, please?
Yeah. So you right click on the class, any concrete class, and also before that we need to know, right? So whether it is a concrete or abstract. Okay. You just click on definition, right click definition. Okay. So then this form will be opened. This call is rule form, and this select class type. Okay. If it is abstract, you will see abstract. If it is concrete, then concrete. Okay. So this class is a concrete, and a table is connected to this class called PC underscore HSPC underscore HSPC vehicle work. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Clear? Okay. These are the major differences between work types, class group. Okay. So now, so see, as part of training, all the rules will be covered, right? So sometimes before going to actual requirements, so I need to explain some examples. Okay. The common things like and generic things also I will put under work class. Okay, for all the examples. Okay. So regarding this loan requirement, I will create appropriately. So if it is belongs to auto loan, I will create under auto loan. Similarly from other classes. Okay. If the generic things, then I will create under work class. Okay. So as part of our application, already we have created a customer details form, right? So when you run the flow, a work object ID will be generated. Okay, that is the unique ID. Okay. So all the work object details will be stored in the table which is connected to this class group. So what is the property that holds the work object? Yeah, PYID. Okay. So where the work object details will be posted in PRPC? So before going to store in the database, it will be posted to some common area, right? Temporary area. So what is that? Hmm? Yeah. So clipboard. So on the clipboard, under which page you can see the details? Which page I am asking? The user pages is the category, right? So under user pages category, what is the page?
Work class.
PY work page. Okay. So PY work page is a page that is getting created while creating the flow, running the flow. Okay. When you run the flow, immediately that page will be created. Under that page, you will see all the work object details. See, now I have created, so I just ran the flow. Okay, this is work object ID, CDAS 530. Okay, so I will see all the work object details on PY work page. Okay, so this PY work page is created by referring to work class. Okay, so internally PRPC acts as these properties. Okay, py workpage dot age, py workpage dot city, py workpage dot first name, like that. Okay, you need to remember that. So internally it use the properties with the page reference. Okay. Okay, whatever the details you see here, so this is the page, and in the brackets we have something, right? That is the class name. Okay, that means this page is belongs to this class. Okay, so whatever the properties we have under this class, those can be used like py workpage dot first name, py workpage dot last name, like that. Okay, suppose if you have a class ABC and you have the properties XYZ. Okay, so if you want to access those properties, you need to create a page on the clipboard. Suppose page 1, then you can access those properties page 1 dot property 1, page 1 dot property, like that. Okay, so I will show you that. So we'll be doing all these things practically. Okay.
Operator ID is same with the table user ID.
Yeah, see here we have different categories, right? I already explained you. So user pages is one category. So system pages is another category, right? So under the system pages, you will see operator details. The operator, who is the operator who log in into the PRPC application, right? So you will have some details now. So all those details will be posted on, will be stored under operator ID page. So operator ID belongs to data admin operator ID class. Okay, operator ID is an instance of the class data admin operator ID. Okay, so in the last class we took the table and we queried in database also. Okay, so what is the table? So data admin operator ID is a concrete class, right? So when I say a concrete class, a table will be connected to that. Okay, PR underscore operators is a table. Okay, so all the operator details will be available under that table. Okay, so this is customer details form, right? So now I am going to include one more property called marital status. Okay, so if user select yes he is married, then we need to display one more layout called spouse details. If he is unmarried, then we don't need to display that. Okay, so we'll be working on that scenario. Okay, so as part of this scenario, we need to create one new rule called when. Okay, so when is a conditional rule, it will be available under decision category. Okay, so when is a decision rule? Okay, so under this rule we can define multiple conditions. Okay, so if condition is satisfied, then action will be performed, otherwise not. Okay, so it is like a if statement. Suppose let's say, so I have a conditional rule called when. Okay, so in the when rule I will define condition is equivalent to something 10. Okay, so I will be using this when rule as part of our application development, right? So wherever we reference this rule, that time it will be verified. Okay, so if age is 10, action will be performed some. Okay, otherwise not, no action will be performed. So like this. Okay, so once we do this practically, you will come to know. Okay, so now, so first we need to create a property called marital status. Okay, okay, you note down the scenario. Before that, create a marital status property under work class. Okay, and upon selection of marital status, we need to display the spouse details, and display the spouse details when user selects married. Okay, so if we select unmarried, then we don't need to display spouse details, right? Yeah, so as part of this we need to create the properties called marital status, spouse name, date of birth and age, and occupation, income also. Okay, so because of this is part of loan application, right? So those details will be required in the later stages. Okay, So as part of this scenario, create the required properties. First step is create the required properties. Okay, so now I will create the properties, you note down. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, so go to the data model, property. So we can create properties, we can create multiple properties at a same time. Okay, we have wizard. Okay, so today we will create manually. Okay, so tomorrow onwards we will use the wizard. Okay, so for marital status, either you can put radio button or drop down. Okay, so we'll put radio button. Okay, it is up to you. So whether, so we can select the control as radio button or drop down also. Okay, so property type text, the control, so px radio buttons. Okay, clear? Yeah. Similarly, create spouse first name. So we'll put only one name just. Okay, yeah, spouse name. Okay, this is text, right? Go to the actions. Similarly, create other properties. Spouse DOB, date of birth. Create and open. Save. Okay, sorry. So date of birth, right? So we need to select the property type as date. Okay. So once we select, once we create the property, we cannot change the property type. Okay. So if you want to create, we need to delete this and create new one. Okay, so once we create the property, we cannot change the type. So here you select the property type as date. Okay, so when you select date, automatically the control is displayed as date type. Okay, so control is date type, property type is date. Okay, but so you will not get the time there. So so you can select the date of birth. Okay, so you will have year, month, date. Okay, click on save. Next, spouse age. So this should be a integer, right? Okay, click on save. Similarly, create one more property called spouse occupation. Okay, so these properties are enough so far. So if required in future, we will create. Okay. So what we need to do next? Yeah, so we need to use all these properties in the layout of this section. Okay, you refresh the class group. Okay. So go to the user interface section, customer details. Okay, so here next step is, the first step is done, right? Create the required properties. second step is use above properties in the section. Okay, section means in the layout of the section. Okay, so this is second step. See here by default, so when you create a new section, a dynamic layout will be there, right, by default. Okay, so here, so one property is displayed for entire row. Okay, so if we want to place two properties in the single row, so we need to change the layout settings. Suppose if you have more properties, then sometimes he has to drag, right, to enter the details. Okay, if you put side by side, then so user doesn't need to drag and he can enter this itself. So inline grid double, that means, see, like this single row two property. So we have option called inline grid triple, one row three properties, like this. Okay, so we use inline grid double. Okay, so here I will drag marital status. Okay, so we haven't entered the values for radio button, right? Yeah, we will enter now. Local list, married, single. Okay, okay, so now I am going to use these properties in the layout, right? Next, upon selection of this marital status, we need to display the spouse details. Okay, so for spouse details I am going to use different layout. Okay, so if I want to use one more layout, I need to take this layout and drag like this. Okay, so this also you can make inline grid double. Okay, so otherwise no, I want to use this layout inside this dynamic layout. Yes, we can use like this. Okay, so I want these properties one by one, suppose, so we can drag all these properties. Okay, so into this layout. So if we drag into this layout, you see how it will happen. First name, so like this. Okay, you can use, if you select inline grid double, you can use two dynamic layouts side by side. So like this. Okay, so I am going to delete this. Okay, so I will use one more layout in this dynamic layout for spouse details. Okay, simple, just drag the layout here. Okay, so if you select inline grid triple, then you can drag one more layout side. Okay, so now if you drag one more layout, it will be there in the first column. Okay, so if you practice, then you will understand easily. Okay, see, I will arrange the properties. First name, So we can arrange like this. Okay, we need to try. So marital status, I'm going to put after gender. Okay, so like this we need to arrange the properties. You take this, drag below age. Take marital status, country. Okay, so here, so you can arrange properties like this, right? So now I am going to drag, yeah, spouse details to this layout. Okay, spouse name. Okay, spouse DOP, age, occupation. Okay. Okay, so like this. So now, so we can change the label, but in the back end you will have spouse name only. Okay, in the table, on the clipboard also. But I am going to change this spouse name to name. That's it. Okay, because of we are going to put the layout, right? Sorry, we are going to, yeah, so write the header like below our spouse details. Okay, so again we don't need to mention spouse name, spouse date of birth like that. Okay, we can mention like name, date of birth, occupation, age. Okay, so this layout header is, okay, so if you want to put, okay, header for layout, some text, go to the view properties of the layout, select the header. Okay, title is below or spouse details. Clear? Click on submit. Yeah, so and change the label names for all the properties by default. So label name also will be same as property name. Okay, so అర్థమవుతుందా ఆన్లైన్ గైస్? సుధీర్, okay, spouse age. Okay, so uncheck this, use property default and remove the spouse. Okay, yeah, so now we need to put the condition, right? Whenever user select, okay, marital state as married, then only we need to display these details, otherwise no. Okay, so for that one we have a rule called when. So when is decision rule, it will be available under decision category. Okay, so when rule is an instance of the class rule obj when. Okay, so when is a decision rule available under decision category and is an instance of the class rule obj when. That means all the when rules you create will be stored in the table which is connected to that class. Create a when rule. Third step is create a when rule for conditional displaying. Okay. Clear? Yeah. So everything we are going to create under work class, right? Create decision when. Okay. Is married. Okay. So label name is, so generally it should be relevant to the requirement. Okay. So by looking at the rule, okay, we should be able to tell this, we should be able to tell the purpose of that rule. Okay. Okay, create and open. Okay, so double click to add condition. Okay, so here we need to define the condition. Marital status equivalent to married. Okay, so we are going to refer this rule somewhere. Okay, so that time when this rule is executed, it will check whether marital status is married or not. If it is married, then some action will be performed, otherwise no. Clear, right? So yeah, so now so all the values we specify in the local list will be displayed under this drop down. Okay, so if it is not coming, then you simply type married. Okay, so where we have given this value in the local list, right? Yeah, so now click on submit, click on save. Done. Yeah, now what we need to do, we need to put the condition on the layout. Okay, so now, okay, this has to be appeared when marital status is equivalent to married, right? So we for that condition we have a when rule. Already we specified that condition in the when rule. Okay, so we need to apply that when rule in this layout. Okay, go to the action, create an action set. Okay, yeah, go to the view properties, note down this navigation. Okay, go to the view properties of the layout where you want to put the condition, and go to the action, click on create an action set, add an event. Okay, when that has to be executed, that means, okay, so whenever user click on marital status radio button, right, that means what is the mouse event? Click. Whenever user click, action has to be performed. Okay, and this complete section will be refreshed. Okay, you select this. Okay, you select the refresh this section. This is action. Now click on submit, and we need to apply the when rule also, right? Okay, so see here we have visibility option. Okay, so by default we have option always. Okay, that means always this layout will be visible, but we need to make this visible when marital status is equivalent to married. Okay, so here we can call when rule, condition when rule. Okay, so what is the when rule? What is the when rule we created? Yeah, is married, right? So all the when rules which we create under work class will be available in the drop down. Okay, you select here. Okay, you submit. Okay, so whenever you click on marital status radio button, the complete section will be refreshed, along with this when rule also will be executed. Okay, so if you have selected marital status as married, then this layout will be displayed, otherwise not. Clear? Yeah. Click on submit. Save. Okay. Now we need to test this, right? Okay. Go to the customer details. You just run the flow. Already we have a flow. So just we have modified in the existing section. Okay. Click on customer details flow. See, by default that layout is not there. Okay. So now I am going to click on marital status. What is that? Just number. So okay, yeah, okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so action set should be for this marital status button. Sorry. So whenever we click on this button, okay, complete section has to be refreshed, right? Okay, so we should not put for that layout, no required. Okay, go to the action of this property called marital status. Add an event is click. Add an action is refresh. Okay, so you can remove it for layout, we don't need. Okay, the same thing you apply for radio button, you can delete like this. Okay, so that means whenever you click on radio button, the complete section has to be will be refreshed. Okay, and when rule also will be executed. Okay, based on that when rule, this will be displayed. Okay, yeah. So now run the flow. See, okay, no, I am not married, I am single. If I click on single, then again it will be invisible. That means every time when you click on this button, okay, complete section will be refreshed. Okay, so based on the when rule, it will decide whether it has to be displayed or not. So if you select married, it will be displayed. If you select single, it will not be displayed. Clear? Or any doubts? Like this. Okay. Yeah. So you practice this. So tomorrow we'll work on different rules. Yeah. Okay. So create a when rule for conditional display. Okay. Okay. In the when rule, you will mention marital status as married, right? Then fourth step is go to the marital status property. Okay, and create action set. Okay, and apply the when rule for spouse details layout. Okay, simple steps, right? Vijit, Akila, Sudhir.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you note down this and you can wind up for the day. Okay. Okay, thanks for joining. We'll meet on tomorrow. Any doubts, let me know now. Okay.